Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Lounging with Lisa, the video series that has me lounging while coming at you with thoughts today. I'm here on Mother's back porch with Mother on the right. I think you know her by now. And a woman named Sue. So I'm just going to focus on you because Mother gets self-conscious. Sue Anderson was Sue Brown, and she used to work at WMGW Radio in Meadville, Pennsylvania with my father. And she's going to just talk a little bit about how that unfolded.
Okay. Thank you for having me. I love seeing Jackie and you again since I first met you when you were just a little tyke. I was 18 years old and I had just graduated from high school, Meadville High School. And as I recall, a lady by the name of Jeanette got mad and walked out of the radio station, and she was the continuity director, which she wrote commercials. So Jim Nicholson, who was the general manager at the time, he contacted the head of the business department at MASH, who was Mr. Walker.
MASH is Meadville area.
Meadville area senior high school, and said, can you send me some graduates who can type? Well, I was very lucky because I could type fast. I played piano and I adapted to typing very well. This was the old days of typing.
Yes.
Where you had to return the carriage when you were typing. Well, anyway, Galen Walker called me at home and said, hey, they're looking for someone to write commercials at WMGW, and they asked for good typists. So I don't know, why don't you go down and apply? So I did. Jim Nicholson put me in his office and said, write me 3 commercials. And just for instance, I think one of them could have been about the Jacqueline shop.
That was Mother's shop.
Running a sale. So I typed these commercials and I got the job somehow. And as I was telling Lisa, the people that go to college to get advertising degrees, here I was, 18 years old, just thrown into it. Jim Nicholson told Blaine, Lisa's dad, Barney Fife, Nick Bernard, all these older established guys. Now this is a sweet little 18-year-old that's coming in here to work, so we've got to clean up our act.
That is cute.
So that is how it all started.
Now I'm going to pause for just a moment. We're going to gather our thoughts here, ladies and gentlemen, here on the porch. Pausing. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Sue's going to tell a story about my delightful father, G. Blaine Hauserman.
Blaine was absolutely the wildest and craziest guy I have ever worked with.
True.
And the method of selling the radio spots. Blaine was a salesman. He would go out and sell 30-second or 60-second spots, radio spots. The salesmen were supposed to bring me in a written sales order of how many commercials the client wanted, what period of time they were going to go on. Blaine took care of all of the office staff very well. He would bring us Klondikes. If he'd call in, we'd say, Blaine, we want this or that. He would always bring it into us because he wanted to keep on our good side. Well, lots of mornings, he would be here, and I'm so tickled to be here where it all happened. He used to say, Sue, it's me, Blaine, I'm sitting at poolside.
Which the pool has been filled in, ladies and gentlemen.
This was at his home. And he had been working. He had been making phone calls that morning or whatever. But he would say, well, so-and-so wants so many 30-second commercials. Here's the dates, blah, blah, blah. And I would say, Blaine, you know you're not supposed to call this in over the phone. You're supposed to bring it, come in here and write it. Well, but you'll do it. You'll do it. And, of course, I would. One of my best memories is that Blaine was the salesperson for Freoff's Pharmacy in Conneaut Lake. And how we ever came up with this, I don't know, but because I was, writing the commercials, we came up with the Freoff sisters.
Okay, which were fake. They did not exist.
Correct. It was myself and Carol Tartaglione, who was another employee. And that's what we based all their ads around, was the Freoff sisters, and that, we'd talk about Buzz and all this. And actually one time we got Buzz to sponsor
Buzz
Carol
Freeoff,
and
for
I.
clarification.
He
Yeah.
sponsored us, and Carol and I walked from Meadville to Freeoff's Pharmacy.
You are
no.
kidding.
That's a walk.
That's
And I
10
think-
miles.
And I think he gave some organization $50 or something for that. But it was kind of cute because
Yeah.
he had all the staff out there when we came walking
Oh, I
in.
can-
And,
Oh, that is adorable. I
That was
remember,
fun.
pardon me, ladies and gentlemen, I remember when there was a huge stuffed Santa Claus, and Eric Watson's wife, I forget her name, she was Santabelle or somebody. Do you remember that at all?
oh, no, I don't.
Okay,
I
well,
don't.
there was some, I don't know,
Yeah,
something
I
to
remember,
promote.
but I can't remember
And I
her
can't
name.
even remember her name. Darlene Yarish.
Yeah, Yara.
She was Santabelle, and we had this big Santa Claus here, but I couldn't play with it, so I was upset. But can you tell us the year when you started at the WMGW and when you left?
Well, I started in 71, and I worked there until I had my son, which was in 75. And I believe I might have left the continuity department and went over to where I would type the program logs. And I think Carol Tartaglione went into writing the commercials at that
Okay.
point. But I stopped for a little while, and lo and behold, Jim Nicholson talked me into coming back. And I do remember whoever had left continuity at that point, that department was in a big mess, because I remember standing by my son's crib and crying, thinking, why am I leaving my baby to go into this terrible job? But, and I do think it was at that point Jim Nicholson had his son come pick me up because I didn't have transportation.
Oh, wow, they really wanted you there.
Isn't
Yeah.
that crazy?
It is.
And then, of course, the radio station moved from Park Avenue to the downtown mall.
Right,
While I
because it
was
used to be
working
above
by
the...
Arts Restaurant.
That's right.
Yeah.
Where your dad would get us drinks all the
Yeah,
time.
he loved that location.
Oh,
did.
absolutely, yes.
But for a period of time, everybody was down at the new location except me. I was in the old location because
Oh.
that's where all the guys had to come tape their commercials. So it just made sense for me to
Yeah,
be
to be
there
there.
Oh.
when they would come up
Oh.
and record their commercials.
Excellent. Now, please tell us the story about when I would... Mother remembers me staying overnight, but tell them that story. Mother, I won't... I'll take the film away from you now. She doesn't... She's
right.
camera shy. Okay, go ahead.
Well, Lisa,
I was born in 64, so...
she's pretty little at this point in the early 70s.
I was
I guess
8.
you were, yeah,
I
you were-
bet.
I think
6,
you had a
7.
pink- I remember a pink
she-
snowsuit.
Pink snowsuit. Yes, that I got from Donna Hayes to do her modeling.
Well,
From the Arctic shop or whatever.
Lisa
Okay.
is so much like her dad, and she was such a precocious little child.
I don't
just
believe
loved
it.
her. Just loved her. But anyway, I lived on a farm over.
Well,
on
wait a minute. Let me
Brownhill Road.
interrupt. Dad would bring me to the radio
Yes,
station. That's how.
Yes,
That's how you...
he hung. It must have been just. Were you with him a lot?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, he
Because you
would-
were at the
He
Jacqueline
would
shop.
sneak her out of school and go to Cleveland.
Pittsburgh, not Cleveland. Yeah.
I believe
Alright,
it. I
someplace.
believe
Yes, he would. And one time I hid on the floor of the back seat, and Mother had no idea, and then we left her off at work, and off we went to Pittsburgh.
That is true.
I
It's
believe
totally
it.
true. Okay, back
I
to
believe
it.
it. I
Where were
believe
we?
it.
Oh, I went into the radio station, and
So
Sue
I-
fell in love with me because I was so precious.
She was, and she still is. So, I don't remember you spending the night, but Jackie does. All I remember is that you came to our farmhouse just to hang out with me. Terrible blizzard, which is not unusual for Crawford County. But at one point, Jackie called and said, "Hey, the roads, I think they're going to close the roads. They're so bad. We're going to come get Lisa." You were worried about your little baby.
Oh, how
So
sweet.
I threw her on the back of the snowmobile, and we took off across the field where we met Blaine and
See,
Jackie.
I remember that vividly. I even remember a tree being there and stuff. I mean, honestly, but I can't remember what I just said right now.
Yeah, well...
Isn't that crazy?
It gets worse, Lisa.
Wonderful. I'm pausing for a minute. We are back. Mother's going to tell the memories she has about the radio show called The Chairs. My father and Jim Nicholson did this once a week, right?
I think so.
I think
Okay,
it
go
was.
ahead, Mother.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Well, the only thing that I really remember.
She's in an apron.
Yes. Well, I have white slacks on, and I have to be good. Anyway, back to Blaine.
The chairs.
The chairs. The only thing I really remember is he would come home and he'd say, I don't even know why I do it. He never gives me a chance to say anything.
Oh.
That's all him.
Jim
I'm sick of
Nicholson.
it. Yeah.
Jim
Oh, that's right.
Nicholson.
Now that's coming back to me, right.
And everybody that I know, of course, wanted to hear Blaine because he was actually funny. And he had experience doing this when he traveled with the group. So anyway, that would make him very angry. That's it, Fort Pitt.
Okay, Fort Pitt. Here, there was a radio show called The Chairs. Here we go, back to Sue.
And I think that was taking place before I started, but I do remember one time Blaine and Mr. Nicholson being in the control room filming, and just, it seemed like stuff was being thrown around and just part of the show.
Oh,
and then
okay.
Jim Nicholson walking out and coming in and slamming the door.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
they
cute.
were having a lot of fun in there.
Okay, now you wanted to end with some advice, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Carol Tartaglione was like my work mom back then. And one thing, radio advertising, the salesmen, when they would sell the spots, they would tell the customers, radio advertising's the best because we can change your commercial in a moment's notice.
Yeah,
You don't have
that's
to
right.
wait till the next day the Tribune comes out.
Or the next
whatnot.
weekly for the paper.
Whatnot. So it would get frustrating because you'd think all day, oh, I'm caught up in my work, and at 5 to 5,
Yeah.
a client called. I had to say, oh, of course, no problem, and get it changed and whatnot. But one thing that would play into it is, even though it was just writing commercials, I was writing. And you're a writer and you understand part of your soul goes into this.
Yes.
So I would write these commercials, and then lots of times I would have to read it to the client. Well, sometimes they wanted to tweak it a little bit. And sometimes that would anger me. And Carol Tartaglione, I'll never forget this, she said to me, Sue, just because they don't like it doesn't mean it wasn't good.
Right.
That's right.
That's
They're
correct.
paying for it, so they have the right to have it be the way they want.
That's
but
true.
I always thought that was good advice. It wasn't because it wasn't good. It was
Right,
just
but I mean,
that
because I design the ads too, a lot of them for the paper, and
you live it.
it doesn't, so that
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Before I sign off, well, I'm going to pause and then I'll kind of pan around and just show where the pool was. So Sue can get or everybody can get an idea of
This'll give you
from
a good
where
idea.
my father was when he would call. But we have I'm still on you, Sue. We have, I'll just go to Mother quickly. We have a picture of Dad sitting there before the garage was there. On the phone with WMGW with Bubbles the cat.
Oh,
Remember he carried around a picture of the cat? And said,
yeah.
yes, instead of grandkids. Okay, I'm pausing. There is the area in which the pool once rested, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to sign off here. Lounging with Lisa, the video series that has me lounging while coming at you with thoughts of the day. Join me, join others. Drop your political identities. Let's focus on issues. Leave labels at the door. Research before you judge. Take Sue's good advice. And remember, war is a racket. Don't take my word for it. Check out General Smedley Butler and what he had to say. Bye-bye.